Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra Factoring Review, letter B. Okay, so just remember, we have talked about how to factor binomials and trinomials, okay? There are different rules for each one. If we have a binomial, first you need to check to see if there is a GCF, and then check to see if the binomial is the difference of two squares, and then factor it further. Okay, for a trinomial, always check to see if there's a GCF, and then if the trinomial is a quadratic, which is the a squared plus b squared plus c, and has factors of ac that add up to b. Okay, so if you're having trouble remembering this, please look back up at the top of your page to go through the rules. Now, the bell has rung, which means it is time to get started. So we're going to be doing the evens together. The odds you're going to have to do all on your own. So let's do it. Number 2, is there a GCF? Because that's the first thing we always need to check. And the answer, yes. Okay. So first thing I notice is that it's negative, so it's going to be a negative GCF. And the number that goes into both negative 50 and negative 10 is negative 10. Now I need to check what variables they have in common. They both have n's, and the highest I can take out is n squared. So I'm going to take out a negative 10n squared. My GCF comes out in front, and then my remainder goes inside the parentheses. So negative 50 divided by negative 10 is a positive 5. I still have the m cubed, and n cubed divided by n squared is n. And the negative 10n divided by negative 10 is a negative divided by negative is a positive, and then that comes out to be a 1. And that is all I can do. So that is my final answer. All right, number 4. Remember, always check for a GCF. Okay. If you don't know what the GCF is, you should be breaking down the factors. Okay. But for this one, 4 goes into both 12 and 20. And then the most I can take out for variables is 1n. Okay? It's what they have in common. Now my GCF comes out front, and then I divide. 20 divided by 4 is 5. M squared, and the n's cancel out. 12 to 4 is 3, and n squared divided by n is just n, because we subtract those exponents. Okay? Now I'm putting the box around it right away because once what I have left, this part right here, can't be factored further. Okay? It is a quadratic binomial, but there is addition there. I can't do it with addition. All right, number 6. Once again, you're going to get tired of me saying this. Is there a GCF? What numbers go into 18, 20, and 6? There's a number. Yeah, it's 2. Okay, I can divide everything by 2. Also looking at the variables, they all have a u. And also they all have at least 1v. So my GCF is 2uv. Now the 2uv comes out in front, and then I divide everything. 18 divided by 2 is 9. My u's cancel, and v cubed divided by v gives us v squared. 20 divided by 2 is 10. The u's cancel, and we're left with 1v. Negative 6 divided by 2 is going to be a negative 3. The u's cancel, and the v's cancel. Okay? So, what am I left with? Yeah, I'm left with a quadratic trinomial. Okay, so since I already took out the GCF, the next thing to do is to multiply, and we get 27. So if you want to write down the factors of 27, 1 and 27, 3 and 9, and in that combination, is there a set that multiply to negative 27 and add to get to 10? Is there? Nope. Okay, so I checked to see if I could go any further, and I can't. So that is my final answer. Okay, don't make your GCF disappear, guys. That is still part of our answer. All right, number 8. First, check out, is there a GCF? And is there? Yeah, we can take out a 3. I can't take out an x because only one of them has an x. Okay, 3 divided by 3, we get x squared. Negative 24x divided by 3, we get a negative 8x. And then 21 divided by 3 is 7. Okay, so we have a trinomial, which means now we have to multiply. The factors of 7 are 1 and 7, and I'm looking for numbers that multiply to get to 7 and add to get to negative 8. Yeah, and what's it going to be? Yeah, it's 1 and 7, but they both have to be negative to work in the bottom, and if they're both negative, they work on the top. Now, since my leading coefficient is 1, that's where I get to do the shortcut, okay? So I'm dropping the 3 to my final answer, and we have x minus 1, x minus 7. All right, when our leading coefficient is 1, that's when we get to do that shortcut. All right, let's flip it over. Number 10. All right, the first thing we check, is there a GCF? Can I take anything out? Nope. Okay, so the next thing is when we multiply. 10 times 4 is 40. So if you want to write down all the factors, 1 and 40, 2 and 20, 4 and 10, 5 and 8. And out of those, I want numbers that multiply to get to negative 40 and add to get to a positive 3. Do you see a set in there? I do. Yeah, 5 and 3. Okay, so, but which one's negative? Because it's got to be negative 40 and a positive 3. And the only way that works is if the 5 is negative. All right, so splitting the middle term, we have 10x squared minus 5x plus 8x minus 4. So what's the GCF of the first group? Well, I see both of them have an x, but I can also take out a 5. All right, so 5x comes out front, and we're left with 2x minus 1. What's the GCF of the back? Yeah, it should be a 4. And that's a positive 4. 8x divided by 4 is 2x. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. And if you look, our two binomials match, which is exactly what we wanted. So we get 2x minus 1. And then our other binomial is at 5x plus 4. Okay? And that's it. All right, let's move on to number 12. Remember, the first thing we do is check to see if there's a GCF. Okay? And yeah, there's a GCF, guys. I can take out a 5. So the 5 comes out front, and I'm left with 4b squared plus, what's 80 divided by 5? What is it? 80 divided by 5 is? Yeah, it's 16. Up 16 what? Okay, I almost forgot the b. And then 75 divided by 5 is 15. Okay, so we checked to see if there's a GCF. And now the next thing we have to do, yeah, we have to do A times C. A times C, we get 60, 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, 5 and 12, 6 and 10. Okay? Now, you don't have to do that step, but that's going to help you with this next part when you're looking for numbers that multiply to get to 60 and add to get to 16. Which one's that going to be? Yeah, you should have gotten 6 and 10. 6 times 10 gives us 60, and 6 plus 16 gives us 16. Okay, so as I'm getting ready to split the middle term, I'm going to come down here and put 5 in my final answer so I don't forget. And here we get 4b squared plus 6b plus 10b plus 15. Okay, what's the GCF of the first group? Yeah, 2b. So the 2b comes out front. 4b squared divided by 2b is 2b. And 6b divided by 2b is 3. The GCF of the back, looking at 10 and 15, I can take out a 5. And it's a positive 5. And then I'm left with 2b plus 3. Okay, so there we go. Those matched. I did it right. I get 2b plus 3. And then our other binomial, 2b plus 5. And it doesn't matter which order you write those in. Okay? But your GCF, the 5, does go out front. Okay? All right, number 14. So remember, the first thing to check is their GCF. No. Okay, good. There's not. So is it a quadratic? Remember, quadratic is you're looking, yeah, it's quadratic, okay? The highest exponent is 2. Is it subtraction? And then can I square root both terms? And that answer is yes, okay? So the square root of 121k squared is 11k. One's a positive, one's a negative. And then next I check to see what is the square root of 9m squared. And that is 3m. And that's it. 11k plus 3m and then 11k minus 3m. Okay. 2 more. 16. Is there a GCF? Remember, GCF is the first thing to check. Yeah, there's a GCF. I can take out a 4. So the 4 comes out front. 16 divided by 4 is 4n squared. and 36 divided by 4 is 9. Okay? Remember, always take the GCF out first. Now, what are we left with? Well, inside we're left with a quadratic binomial with subtraction. And yes, I can square root both of those. All right. So my GCF goes out front. 4n squared, the square root of that is 2n. I got a plus and a minus, and the square root of 9 is 3. All right, last one. 18. Is there a GCF? Are you getting tired of me saying that yet? Hope not. All right, so there is no GCF. It's a quadratic binomial. I can square root both of those, but the only difference is it's addition, and that rule doesn't work. Okay, so for this one, this can't be factored. And that's your answer. Okay. All right, guys, well, that's it for Algebra Factoring Review B. If you guys have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off. Thanks for watching.